Hello everybody, my name is Margie and I am a life coach, and I am here throughout the week. I get motivated to put certain videos out. They're usually based on things that I'm learning, but sometimes it's based on things that I think that my friends and viewers might want to know about. So I am going to talk about how when you're constantly busy, how that can actually prevent you from being in a state of flow. Now, what's a state of flow? For me, a state of flow is a path of least resistance. Now, that doesn't mean sitting on your couch eating ice cream all day. That is fun. But being in a state of flow, for me, means finding your purpose, finding your calling in life without having to force things. So what I have noticed in my journey, I've shared this with you guys. So I was working for a worldwide engineering company, and I was the top producer. I was making six figures easily. I was drowning myself in work. My heart was not able to open. I was going through a huge spiritual awakening. Again, that might look different for different people, might be called something else. But basically, I was feeling very uneasy at my job. I was not feeling like it was what I was meant to do. I was kind of energetically shutting it down, and I ended up leaving that job. So I also had a house that was way too expensive that I really didn't need to have, and I ended up downsizing. I simplified things. I made my life easier. So for me, what I found, and the biggest message that I have for you guys, so when you go through a big transition in your life, or if it's a spiritual awakening, whatever that looks like, a lot of people right now aren't working. So I found that I was constantly learning. I was listening to Joe Dispenza, Bob Proctor. I was learning from all these guys. My intellectual mind wanted to be stimulated. Maybe that was my ego, or maybe I just crave higher knowledge. I'm not really putting a label on that, but what I noticed is that when I no longer had an oversized house to pay for, again, I'm a one-person show, single mother. My ex and I co-parent our kids really well, so it's every other week that we have them. And that gave me a lot of flexibility. So what I found is that when I didn't have the house and I didn't have that job to worry about, and my mind was able to slow down because I was no longer obsessing or overly stressing about these external things, that's when my heart was able to open up. And that's some huge lessons that so many people tried to tell me. And again, I was able to process it with my logical mind, but my heart was not able to fully open. And I apologize, my dogs are wrestling right now as I'm trying to talk, so I'm kind of pushing them away as I'm doing this. But anyway, hey, we're at home, we're all at home, right? It's a sense of like what's actually going on, sense of vulnerability. So what I found is that when I was able to slow down my mind, then my heart was able to open up. So right now, a lot of people, you're at home, maybe you're not working as many hours, maybe you're stressing like crazy because you don't know how you're going to pay your bills. What I encourage you to do is let yourself slow down. It can actually be a fault to always feel like you have to be doing something, to always feel like you have to be making the maximum amount of money or a certain amount of money to survive. And I know it's a hard time for most people. I do think some sort of relief is going to be coming sometime soon. I don't know what that's going to look like. But I always tell people, even if you have a family, if you have, let's say, worst case scenario, let's say you can't live in the house that you're still at. I don't think they're taking homes away right now. But worst case scenario, do you have people to live with? You probably do. Do you have family to live with? Yes, I do, and they might be annoying as hell. But you always have someplace to go. You'll always have food in the fridge. You will always have those things. And I know that we've been so overly conditioned to think that we need a lot more than we actually need. When you think of your basics for survival, which is what we were designed for, we weren't designed. I mean, I know I had my regular fridge, my regular freezer. I had like another big freezer out in the garage of extra food, and it's just me and my two little boys. We were designed for feast or famine. We were designed to go a little bit of time without food. So if you guys have food in your fridge every day, you're okay. If you have a house, maybe it's too big, maybe it isn't, but you're okay. We're so conditioned to think that we need that nice car, to think that we need to live in the best area, and we always think that we need to have the biggest Christmas party. Believe me, I was stuck in that. I had a Christmas party. It was almost $10,000, and it was fun. And when I sold my house, my ego is so huge, I thought that I didn't have that party, that people would judge me. But guess what? It didn't matter. It doesn't matter, because the amount of joy that I feel now is a level of joy and a level of peace that those things never would have given me until I finally got rid of them. And it's not to say that you can't have those things, but when your logical mind is constantly going and you're constantly working, constantly chasing things down, when you're stressed out about 5 different types of practices for the kids, BMX and soccer and football and cheerleading, when you're doing too much, your heart cannot open. You cannot slow down. It's so, not to say you can't, I'm not going to say that, because I know people might comment that, oh, well, I was able to do it. You can slow down, but it's extremely hard, and a lot of time it requires a partnership. It requires teamwork. So what I want to tell you guys is that when you slow down, when you keep things to a minimum, you'll find that when you finally find your state of flow, your flow is your higher calling in life. Your flow is the career that you're meant to be in. A lot of people, they're not in their office jobs right now. They're at a job where they're at home, or they're having to analyze their relationship, whether it's with their partner or with their family members. You can't kick your kids out. I mean, well, you could, but it wouldn't be nice, especially if they're little. But a lot of people are really getting called to analyze their life right now, and a lot of times just requires simplifying things. So what I encourage you guys to do is not freak out. Go to the beach, go swim. If you have too many things to do and you don't know what to do, and I speak from experience, I had $30,000 to $40,000 in engineering reports to do in a month, and there was one month where I had to do it in like that last week of the month. And I was freaking out so much. I had so much to do. I went and I swam for 5 hours in the ocean. I didn't really swim. I just sat there like a buoy. But I recalibrated myself. And when I got back, I got all of the reports out in 6 days. So once you pull yourself away and you reset, you'll find that you're more productive at what you need to do. So I encourage you guys to take time out, because when you're overstressed, when you have too much on your plate, it's really hard for the universe to tell you what you need to be doing. All it's going to continue to do is make you extremely uncomfortable, to the point where it makes you have a mental breakdown. So when things are uncomfortable, think to yourself, what is the path of least resistance? What can I do to simplify my life? What can I do to downsize? What can I do to make things easier, especially during this time? And I'm telling you that once things are easier, you'll start getting the answers that you want. You'll start finding out which sports out of the 7 the kids were doing, which 1 or 2 they're supposed to be doing. You'll find out maybe you're supposed to be in a different neighborhood. Or you'll find out, you know what, there's a job that I love a lot more that I can do and make more money and not have to stress as much. So I encourage you guys just to relax and be in a state of flow, because once you slow down, your heart is able to open up. And I did a video about the manifesting power of the heart as opposed to the logical mind, and the manifesting ability of the heart is 5,000 times more powerful than the logical mind. So again, I encourage you guys to slow down, let your heart open. I know that sounds very like spiritual, whatever you want to call it, but it's you being able to return to your true essence, you being able to be who you truly are. And a lot of time that requires you just slowing down, and the answers will come to you. And my dog is biting my hand right now, and I'm trying to do this video. But again, we're all at home, so I like the vulnerability in the video. But anyway, yeah. So my name is Marjorie, and I encourage you guys to let me know if you have any questions, if you need any tips on how to let go, on what types of things you think you need to let go of, or how can I slow down? These are things that I have to do. A lot of times we've been programmed to think that we need to do them, but it's our ego setting certain standards, and a lot of times those standards are not our own standards. It's to make other people happy, or it's to attain things that really are above and beyond the things that we need to have in order to be to have basic happiness. So a lot of times, like me, I thought I needed a big house and big nice things for people to like me, but I wasn't the vibrational match for those people because I was using the house and the job and the things as a facade instead of truly being who I am. And I'm telling you guys from experience, as I got rid of those things, I'm more confident. I speak my truth, I go after what I want, and now I'm finally in my power. When I had all of those things, it was a facade. It was me not truly in my power. And now, no joke, since I've been doing this, I'm attracting the right people. I'm attracting the right clients, and so many people that I wanted to work with where I wasn't really getting the response that I wanted from them before. You know, I wanted to serve them and I knew it was a good connection, but they weren't really receptive to that. So once you step into your power, you're an energetic match for the people that are meant to be in your life, whether it's a client, whether it's a boss, whether it's a spouse, anything like that. You will find that the right things, the right people, right situations are energetic antennas that match your own. So hope everyone has an amazing day, and again, my name is Margie, and I am here for any questions that you guys might have. Have an awesome day.